Welcome back to Jersey Matters. The oil and gas companies of America are under attack. The president and several in Congress say they want to get rid of fossil fuels over the next decade. But Mike Renna, the CEO of South Jersey and Elizabethtown Gas, says not so fast.
Sarah, thanks so much for agreeing to do this. It's fascinating what you're doing, and we'll get to that in a moment, because natural gas, fossil fuel companies are under attack. They actually there's a segment of the population that wants to eliminate them, and I understand the reasons for that. So what you're doing, is that a reaction to what might be coming?
Yeah, it certainly is. I think New Jersey was probably one of the first states to kind of come out with a more what I would call aspirational plan for how it was going to consume energy going forward, and put a real big emphasis on decarbonization and renewable energy. So what we really did was focus not on the fuel itself, but on what our utilities provide, which is the infrastructure to deliver energy. And so we believe that there's a tremendous amount of value in that infrastructure, and that infrastructure can deliver the clean energy of the future.
So explain exactly what you're doing.
So we've spent several hundreds of millions of dollars over the last 5 years modernizing our infrastructure, replacing all of the vintage bare steel and cast iron main. That has a safety and reliability component to it. It also has a significant environmental component to it, because it allows us to reduce the amount of fugitive methane that's released, because the vintage pipes were a little more leak prone. These are state-of-the-art pipes, very low incidences of leaks. The other thing they do is, because they're predominantly plastic, they allow us to blend other fuels with the natural gas to bring down the carbon intensity of the natural gas. And that's kind of the first phase, was modernizing the infrastructure. The second phase is going to be investments in decarbonization. So lowering the carbon intensity of the actual gas stream itself.
Do you believe that there will be a time when we won't be reliant on fossil fuel, or will that always be a component? Is it a fantasy to think that's going to happen?
Oh, you're asking a gas guy.
Purposely.
Yeah, I think there'll always be a role for fossil fuels. They're critical for reliability, particularly even the more we electrify, the more you're going to need gas to smooth out those periods that of interruption that you get with renewable energy sources, right? The sun doesn't always shine, wind's always not blowing. It's intermittent energy. Battery storage is one way to smooth out that, but another is through natural gas.
The infrastructure that you already have, that you were explaining a moment ago, can it be used to deliver something that's not natural gas to homes?
It can, and we're already making those investments. So the first and most immediate technology is renewable natural gas, and that's taking the methane from food waste, from wastewater treatment facilities, from landfills, from dairy farms, and you run it through an anaerobic digester, and out comes a clean burning gas called renewable natural gas that we can blend right now with our natural gas in our existing infrastructure, and again bring down the carbon intensity of the natural gas. So that's one. The other, I think, more promising future, and the technology is still a ways away, and I think there's going to need to be different pilot projects that happen, but it's pretty advanced in Europe and Asia, is hydrogen, and blending hydrogen with the natural gas, again, to bring down that carbon content.
How close are we to being able to use hydrogen?
I think we can certainly use it now. The technology is there. Again, Europe and Asia are using hydrogen. In terms of mass distribution through utility infrastructure, I think you'll start to see blending in the next 5 years. And certainly by 2050, I think, the technologies will advance. We'll make whatever necessary investments we have to make in our infrastructure. And I think you'll see a pretty, again, I mean, I keep overusing the word, but I think you're going to see a very different gas stream in the 10-year time frame.
Yeah, I'm asking a lot of questions about the future and what it's going to be like. Now, let me ask you a question that your customers are going to care about. How will these changes affect them, not only with their delivery system but with the cost?
So from a delivery system, I think, look, the investments that we've made have greatly increased the safety, reliability, resiliency of our system. So that's a great thing for customers, right? That means on the coldest of days, the gas is flowing and their heater comes on. And I think most of our customers understand and appreciate that in order to make those kind of investments to ensure that type of reliability and resiliency, it comes at a cost. The nice thing about where we are right now from a natural gas perspective is, given the abundancy of natural gas, given the affordability of natural gas, we've been able to make these investments, and we'll be able to continue to make these investments now in decarbonization without impacting customer bills because the cost of gas is so low.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mike Renna, CEO of South Jersey and Elizabethtown Gas. Still to come on Jersey Matters.
I'm Phil Andrews, and coming up on Jersey Matters, I'll explain how I unexpectedly got my first COVID-19 vaccine.